Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Get Strong Show. I am your host today. I'm probably going to be your host forevermore. My name is Stephen Hogan, and the title of today's episode, which is the first episode, is The Art of Training Hard and How Our Brains Are Holding Us Back. So, just a quick introduction for those of you that don't know me, and I'm also going to just explain what my goal is with this particular episode and the podcast as a whole is. So, as I said, my name is Stephen Hogan. I'm an avid health and fitness enthusiast. I live and breathe this shit. I run an online coaching business called Get Strong. As you can see there on the wall, I feel like, and Get Strong is how I'm going to do this, I feel like my mission in life is to send as many people as possible on a path of physical improvement. Whether that is the person who has been contemplating the gym for years, is too nervous to go to a public place to train hard. I want to bring that person into the gym. I want to show them the principles. I want to show them what's what and get them moving and get them on a path of, I fucking love this. I'm getting bigger, I'm getting stronger, I feel better. I'm adding years to my life. I want to help the person who has, a vague understanding of how nutrition works, but they base their diet off, stuff that's sending them down the wrong path. I want to enlighten those people as to what's what with nutrition. Nutrition doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. In a nutshell, I just want to help as many people as possible get on the path of physical improvement. So this podcast, what I want to do with it is the first few episodes is just going to be myself talking about my experiences, my anecdotes, how I do what, and what I've discovered over the 11 years training and the 4 years coaching. And eventually I'm going to bring on guests. Now the guests are not going to be limited to my niche, which is the gym. I want to bring in people who are, successful in their modalities or whatever the fuck they do in sports. For example, if there's a swimmer in Ireland who's on the Olympic team, yeah, let's get her on. Let's hear what she has to say about her training. What is her mindset like? Does she envision this or envision that? What does she do when shit goes wrong? That's what I want to do. I want to bring on all these cool people. I want to hear from them. I don't really want it to be too much of an educational podcast. I kind of want to be a collection of really cool anecdotes. Interesting fucking shit. So today's anecdote is from myself, yours truly, Stephen Hogan, and it's about training hard. So if you're not into the gym, that's okay. What I'm going to talk about, I think, still applies to you. If you're a swimmer or if you're, a fucking runner or into athletics or whatever the fuck you do, I think what I'm going to talk about will still apply to your training. So the goal with this particular episode is to act as a pre-workout, a non-stimulant pre-workout, one that will still help you sleep at night, but I want you to put it on your way to the gym, because I'm not going to talk for too long. This is pretty much off the cuff. I'm really tired. I could probably fall asleep in a couple of minutes if I went to bed. I have one sticky note with 4 points that I'm running this episode off. So if I go on tangents or whatever the fuck, excuse me. Let's get into it. So building muscle. How do we do it? I'm not going to get into the science because we fucking heard it enough. But basically, the way I like to explain it to, say, a client who just signed up is that we need to present a case to our brain that we need more muscle tissue. Simple as that. And the brain needs to actually look at that and say, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. We'll add tissue to the quads, right? So how do we do that? We do a leg press. We send it to failure. We do a couple of sets of leg press, send it to failure, and then the brain is like, whoa, oh my god, that was tough, that was hard. What the hell, what the fuck are we going to do? Steve tries to do that again next week. We got to prepare. We got to adapt. Adaptations, it's basically how all the organisms in this world work. Excuse my terminology, I'm not a biologist, but it's basically, everything in this planet, down to the cells in our body, down to us as human beings, we adapt. We need to force our body to adapt. So to do that, we need to train hard. Now, I think all of us, this is just a little side note, have so much fucking potential. I think we can all be in very good shape. We can all, if you build loads of muscle and get really strong. It's just we're all limited by our brain. Because the unfortunate reality of building muscle is we have to put ourselves in an environment that our brain doesn't really like. It's fucking stressful, it's hard, it's dangerous. So our brain wants us out. That's why it fucking gets us to tap out. 5 reps from failure. 5 reps too fucking far. 5 reps, 4 reps, 3 reps away from that environment where our brain is like, alright, yeah, we need more tissue here. We need to build more muscle here. So I genuinely think this, and I believe this from the bottom of my heart, is that we are all held back up by our brains. There is obviously, a lot of instances across the board for all of us where we beat that. You know, and we get progressions. Some of us better than others. I think the absolute freaks of nature that we see on Instagram who can do this and do that, they consistently show up and fucking beat that their brain, and when their brain is trying to get them to stop, they just keep going. They're training fucking hard. They just have that ability. That ability is what I want to instill in you today. The best of the best are just, I think they're mentally able to do it. Now obviously there's nuance to that. Everyone has different bodies, you know, different limb lengths, different leverages, whatever it is. Some people are more capable of doing certain things than others, but I truly believe we're all really capable of getting in fucking serious shape and getting really fucking strong if we just learn how to break down that barrier that is our brain, which is holding us back. So if you're training today, I want you to know you have more in the tank. I can guarantee it. You're going in, you're possibly doing leg press today. On your program is 8 reps. You don't even know what you did last week, so you didn't really track it, so you're just going to go 8 reps, yeah, until it gets a bit uncomfortable. Trust me, 10 reps from fucking failure is uncomfortable if you think it is uncomfortable. You need to push yourself harder. You have more in the tank, I guarantee it. If you go into this leg press and you say 8 reps, right, and you finish that set with 8 reps, that's not good enough. I want you to go higher. I want you to doubt that you wouldn't have got 9 and 10. You need to find that environment and stay in that environment for as long as possible. I know, once again, there's nuances to that. You want to manage yourself and manage your fatigue and make sure you don't get injured, but you need to be 95 to probably more % of your training, no matter what your modality is be in this environment of continually asking your brain to adapt and give me back a better body, give me back better muscles, give me back a better skill of running when the gun goes. Not sure if that's the correct terminology for runners. Haven't really dealt with runners before, but you know what I'm saying. You need to spend most of the time you're training in that environment where you're forcing your brain to give you what it wants. You need to push. You need to train really fucking hard. And I guarantee you all watching this or listening to this today have more in the tank on your way to training today. I want you to imagine when you do that set of leg press, if a gun was to your head, I don't mean a literal gun to your head. Dorian Yates, I'm not going to directly quote him here, but he spoke something about this, and myself and my friend Sean and Marcus always talk about this. A gun to your head, give me 2 more. If you're doing leg press, you're going to say, no problem, I'll give you 20 more, pal. I guarantee it. So when you go into training today, ask yourself at the end of every set, we'll say, whether that's 8 reps of leg press, whether that is a 20-meter fast dash on the track, whatever the fuck it is, right? I don't program for runners, or if it's a 10-meter intervals in the swim pool, I don't know. Ask yourself, could I have given more? Ask yourself this. Put yourself in an extreme mental state where you say, if this was on the line, would I have got more? Guarantee you the answer is going to be yes, 99% of the time. That is what I do when I go in and I train. I ask myself, did I have more? Now, you can easily get distracted and not ask yourself that every set, but just start building the habit. Start building the habit of asking yourself, could I have got more out of that? I guarantee you you're going to say yes. Compound this habit. You might do it today on your way to the gym and say, yeah, Steve kept asking me now today to ask, have I more in the tank? You did. Guarantee you did. I can guarantee you it is very, very hard, in very rare cases, that someone will go into the gym and find their absolute max on everything they do that day. It is because it's a fight with our own brain. Our brain is trying to get us to stop. It is very hard to win it most of the time, but to get it a whole session of you beating your brain, that's a task. I mean to say, when I train, I still, I think I've mastered this to a degree, but I still walk away from some sets and say, oh, fuck it, man, I had more there. I tapped because it was uncomfortable. I was in that stressful environment and my brain just gave me a way out and I took it. So, to wrap up today's episode, the first episode, when you go into the gym today or whatever your training is, do your training as usual, right? But ask yourself after the set, if there was a gun to my head, if there was a fucking $10 million on the line, would I have got more? Answer truthfully, you would have. You all have more in you. I've seen it on the gym floor when I've coached clients in person. I'm just forcing them to go further. I'm telling them, you've got more. You can do heavier. I know it. It is an overwhelming percentage of my in-person clients that I've had. That is the case when we do our sessions. Is me asking them to do more. And it's great. It's very productive. Once they see it and they feel it, they're like, oh yeah, I do have more potential. Now it can be scary. That is why, going back to my point earlier in the podcast, that it is a skill that we have to hone and practice. So I want you To finish up, is ask yourself after every set you do, and make this a habit. Don't just do it today or tomorrow. Try and instill it and do it for the next fucking 10 years. Ask yourself, did I have more to give there? It will get you to reflect. Reflecting on your training is a very, very productive habit to have. So do it on a minute scale. Ask yourself immediately after every set, did I have more there? If you have subsequent sets, it might force you to go harder. Put on more load. If your next set is not until next week, you'll think about it. You'll remember, I had more there. Right, that's it. So that's the first episode done. I hope it came across as motivating, inspiring. But I truly mean it. If you are listening to this, you have more to give. You have more to offer. Time is ticking, and it's going to continue to tick. So let's make the most of it. So yeah, look, like, share, comment if you don't mind, if you can. Whatever you're watching this on or listening to this on, it goes a long way. It's going to help me spread my message. It's going to help me build this Get Strong community that I have so much ideas and visions about. It's going to help me build my business, help me pay my bills so I can continue to talk and entertain you guys, I hope. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you have made it this far, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So yeah, as always, have a great fucking day. Have a great Saturday, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're looking forward to Christmas. 2026 is right around the corner. Let's get the wheels in motion before January 1st shows up on your phone screen. And as always, don't forget to get strong.